There are mountains that are too big for humans to destroy without dynamite or something, but water can cut right through it because it has patience and consistency. Welcome to How to Beat You Podcast. I'm your host, Jarrell Henry, and it's the place where we grow together. You can stay up to date with all things How to Beat You Podcast at How to Beat You Podcast on all our socials, or my personal socials at Jarrell.Henry. Today we're talking about why you need patience. Patience is a skill that you can use to learn anything you want to. It can get you as far as you want to be. It can completely give you a better life. But without it, you will forever be lacking something essential. And I think the easiest way to keep going when you feel like quitting and you don't want to be patient is make a motto for yourself. Nipsey is also big on making mottos and having things to say, but I found like if you have something to say when you want to quit and you say it and it's the thing that you need to affirm you, it can keep you going. It can give you the energy that you need. It can remind you what you do it for. Like at the moment, mine is I refuse to quit until I get all that I deserve. And that's needed. Like that helps me when I don't want to work, when I don't want to show up, when I want to just lay down and scroll on my social media. But that keeps me going. That keeps me driven, and it helps me keep going. So come up with a motto. For me personally, I understand the struggle with patience because I wasn't raised with patience. I actually had very little patience, like very little. I used to get pissed at the smallest things, and I didn't have a solution. I didn't know how to be patient. I didn't really want to know how to be patient for the longest time. And I remember I started seeing the need for it. So I prayed to see patience, and God made me wait. Oh, he made me wait for everything. And even in this moment, I'm still in that waiting of everything I wanted, with the dream life, a place for myself to stay, peace, a great loving relationship, all of that. I've been waiting for years, and that was very, 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 very frustrating and very hard to handle. But now I can handle it so much easier because I've learned the skill. I'm good at being patient over certain things because I had no choice but to. And it really frees everything up. And I want you to develop that ability to be patient, because that works for the big things and the little things. You need to understand that like patience isn't just waiting. Patience is waiting with the right mentality. If you feel hopeless, no amount of waiting will make you not feel hopeless or make it feel like any of this work is worth the effort. But if you're grateful, then you will always find more reasons to be grateful, and that will keep you driven. That will keep you going. That'll refuel you, and that's what you need. Patience is you waiting with the right mentality, so you ready whenever the thing comes. And it's easy to not be patient, especially nowadays. Like I can find anything within a scroll. I can scroll and I see people my age living it up. I remember even in college, everybody was going to like beach week. They was going to Miami, all of these things, but I couldn't afford none of that. And that was so frustrating because I wanted that. These are things that I want. And these are things that you have so much access to on your phone. And you might feel like you wrong for not having that. But everybody has a different timeline. Everybody has a different journey. And it's okay for you to not be at that place right now, because with patience and the right actions, you can get there. I didn't really understand that at that time, but that's the truth. And it takes time to build things that's permanent. You've seen with all these rappers, they might have this song blow up and it got a few months to run. I want to name some names, but I'm not going to be petty like that right now. But You'll see them, they had these 1-2 big songs and they was on a run, and now 6 months later or a year later, we forgot they existed because they didn't really have the skill to last. They kind of got lucky, and a part of success is getting lucky, but for it to be sustained, you have to have the knowledge and skills to back it up, and that's how you keep it building. But some of these people didn't have that, and you got to think, like, Bill Gates became a billionaire from patience. I definitely meant Warren Buffett. He is not no better than you. He just started investing earlier and understood the compound interest that comes with investing, and made some right investing moves, and now he a billionaire. But that's how he got his money. He didn't have a bunch of big ideas, great ideas. He just was a great investor, and that's what got him where he wanted to be. And I think it's easy to not recognize that, like, patience is just a skill, just like anything else. And I keep saying these for all of these different topics that I've discussed on this podcast so far, but you need to understand all of these are just skills. All of these can be learned and developed. Just because somebody might be naturally gifted at that thing doesn't mean that you can't develop it and be great at it. It just takes time and work. And if you're willing to do the time and work, you can do whatever. And patience actually is that art of being able to do that time the right way. And because of that, you can learn anything from patience. You being patient can teach you any skill you want to have, but it just take work. It take you showing up. It take you trying. And be careful about this, but I feel like the easiest way to get patience is to pray for patience. Understand that's a very dangerous prayer, and your life will change, and you might regret it to a certain extent, but it can get you where you want to be. But it's going to frustrate you. It's going to give you all these new distractions. It's going to give you all of this things that make you have to be patient that you don't really want to be patient for. Nobody really wants to be patient, especially me. If I could, I would have so many things instantly, but that's not how life works, and God doesn't want that for me. God wants you to build something stable that can last a long amount of time, but that takes time to build. The devil, they'll give you your blessing or whatever quick. It'll be real quick and it'll be real short. It won't last because, like I said, you haven't done the things to make it last. But God wants you to have blessings and understandings that you can have for the rest of your life. He wants you to win and keep on winning versus a big win for some bigger losses. And that's just what it takes. So you need to understand that if you're willing to do the work and put in the time, you can get whatever results that you want. And with patience, you can do much bigger things than you can even imagine. But it take you having the right mentality in the waiting period. It take you showing up when you don't see the answer or the solution, because that's how you get where you want to be. So thank you for tuning in. You can continue tuning in every Wednesday, and you can stay up to date with all things How to Beat You Podcast at How to Beat You Podcast, or through my personal socials at Jarrell.Henry. And thank you. If you want to advertise or get on the podcast, you can hit me up on my social medias or through my email at howtobeatyoupodcast@gmail.com. And thank you for listening to How to Beat You Podcast. Stay blessed.